Okay, this is already running, so hello my dear host family. I think it's high time that I post another video blog for you, since I haven't been talking to you in quite a while and I haven't emailed you or anything, so you don't know about the recent events. I haven't even told you about my final exams and how they went, and you don't even know anything about my summer holidays yet. I'm really gonna tell you a lot in this 10 minutes, I guess. To make it a little bit more exciting, I'll go backwards, starting with the Scouts camp that I just returned from. Now, this is our beautiful camping site, which was situated in a very narrow valley in the Italian part of Switzerland. This is the sort of build-ups that we made to put our tents on, or at least some of the tents. That would be the kind of rocky walls that surrounded the place. This was actually just above us, so it was really kind of scary. Then this is our beautiful outdoor kitchen, where 3 friends of mine and I cooked for about 30 people. Now this is the tiny village where the camping site actually belonged to. Looks very typical for the Italian part of Switzerland, but this is very traditional, and this kind of building only exists in the very tiniest places, really, not in towns. That's very traditional housing. Now, so much for the Scouts camp. Going backwards would mean going to Barcelona. That's where I went with my 2 best friends, Peter and Sherwin, just about 4 weeks ago. Now in Barcelona we had this beautiful studio in this beautiful house that you can see on this picture. We found this, actually Peter's mother found this in the internet, and it was really great. First we wanted to go to a youth hostel, but then we figured that it would be really cool to be able to cook for ourselves and then go to the beautiful market, like this one. This is the beautiful market that we went to. So we could go to that beautiful market and buy stuff and then cook it for ourselves at home with an open window, with music we liked, and yes, so that was pretty cool. It also had very cool neighbors, like neighboring tourists that were on the same floor in different little studios. So it was very cool. And it was in the middle of town, maybe 10 minutes walk from the main square. Now, especially for me, that was great because I'm very fond of cities. I love the urban lifestyle and also architecture. And in terms of architecture, there's so much to see in this city. There's old architecture as well as modern architecture that was very recently built. And also there's lots of places to see that are well designed, like designer shops or very cool restaurants. And of course there's the beach. Now at the beach we spent most of our time sitting in our favorite beach bar, where they also showed the football matches from the Soccer World Cup. The people that worked there were really nice, probably all art students doing this for a summer holiday job, and it gave this bar a really nice atmosphere, and we ate there at least 3 times because it was so cool. Another thing certainly worth mentioning would be the Gaudi Park, or Park Güell, which was made by the Spanish architect Gaudi around 1900. And it's a very special, beautiful park with very special architecture and design, as you can see on this picture. It sort of reminds me of Dr. Seuss books because it's all a bit skew, there's not many right angles, and he made all of this with broken dishes actually. It's a very touristy place, but still beautiful because it's a little outside the city and you can see the whole city really. You can see down to the beach and you can see all the houses and skyscrapers. So that was very beautiful. Scattered throughout the city are these kind of bike stations. That is unfortunately only for local people. They can go there, get one of these bikes, ride them wherever they want, and then put them back into one of those bike stations. It's very practical, and it really made us want to ride a bike as well, so we went to a bike rental and got these bikes and just went around town a little. In spite of the many bikes that we saw on the streets, Barcelona turned out not to be a very good biking city, or at least not for us tourists, because there's so much traffic and they don't look out for bikes, and there are almost no biking lanes, so it was really a hazard to be going, for example, around this roundabout. So we would just take the crossing, and the whole thing wasn't as relaxing as we thought it would be, but it was fun anyways. We just couldn't do the whole route that we planned to do. A thing about Barcelona that I liked a lot, as opposed to the bike riding, were these little spaces and squares where restaurants put out their chairs and furniture for people to eat. The funny thing about these were that they were mostly in the middle of the old town, which is a very crammed and with only very narrow streets that fit only one car or so. And then again, it opens up. You walk, you wouldn't expect anything to open up, and then there's this little square with beautiful atmosphere and laughing and chit-chatting people, and these things are really beautiful in Barcelona. So much for my holidays in the southern part of Switzerland and in Barcelona. I did other things as well. For example, I went with my class to a camping site in the southern part of Switzerland, but these pictures are not... Well, actually, they're quite nice. Okay, I'll show you some pictures of that event as well, just so you get an idea of what my class looked like. These pictures were taken on a trip that we organized ourselves to celebrate the passing of our last exams. Unfortunately, we weren't complete because not everyone in our class likes camping. This just to give you a little impression of what the people in my class look like. And yes, I really love my class. They were great. We had so many interesting people because we were all from different backgrounds and coming back from different exchange years. We had people in our class that spent a year in Venezuela, in Japan, in Argentina, in France, in Spain. Lots of them were in the United States, and me and another guy, we were in New Zealand, obviously. We really grew together as a team, and I think I'm really gonna miss them a lot now that we scatter all to different universities in Switzerland. Yes, but that's life, and it goes on. Okay, so much for that. I know there's still a lot more to say, and I'm not gonna stop here. I'm gonna stop here with the video, but down there on the floor there is something that I'm gonna send to you very soon, probably on Monday. Now it's Saturday evening, and yes, it's gonna contain something specific that I'm not gonna say what it is right now, and there's gonna be a letter to it as well, and I'll probably fill this letter with things about my last exams, about my future, about more current things. And yes, this was just to warn you, so you're not too surprised because you haven't received anything in quite a while, and I'm sorry for that. And yes, I hope you liked this year's summer holiday video. I can promise you there will be a next one. Now it's time to say goodbye again. Dear John, dear Christine, dear Rebecca, dear Michael, dear Sophie. I hope to see you again one day. Goodbye, and I miss you.